What is multiple sclerosis? Hi friends, it's Adam, the crippled cannabis cowboy. Thanks for watching my video on what the heck is MS. I'm sure everyone has heard the term MS, or the acronym MS, whatever you call it. Not many people know exactly what MS does to you. If you like what you see and you learn something, subscribe to my channel. Help me out a little bit. Get the good word out there. I developed something called PPMS, primary progressive multiple sclerosis, but there's a couple others. They're kind of like degrees. If you unfortunately develop multiple sclerosis, several things are going to happen. First, number one, there is no cure. So, you try this, you try that, you see if this works, you see if that works. To each their own. I have yet to come across something that works even a little bit. I've had infusions, I've had shots, I've had several things. It's just something that I'm noticing that people that don't know much about this disease, they seem to think it can miraculously disappear, and yeah, that shit don't happen. It's kind of like a spectrum, like the autism spectrum. They have the least amount, and then they have the heaviest. So on this spectrum of multiple sclerosis, there's RRMS, that is relapsing and remitting multiple sclerosis. There's SPMS, which is secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. And then there's PPMS, which is primary progressive multiple sclerosis. It takes a while for my brain to work sometimes, and it's just part of this deal that because I'm in the PPMS boat, you're gonna get worse. That's just something that happens. If you're in the RRMS boat, there will be a relapse at some point in time where you're gonna get real sick, you're gonna have all kinds of problems that the others, the SPMS and the PPMS problems do have much more frequent. But with the remission, it kind of passes away, and then you get a little better, you back up at it, and that's where the R and R come in. There's a big relapse, and then there's a remission, like nothing happened, like you're totally normal again. Then it's the SPMS, which is a little worse than the RRMS. I mean, MS is just sucks anyway. So it's worse with the frequency of the symptoms, and the symptoms get a little more heavier. From what I understand, you got keep in mind that I'm my own person. Multiple sclerosis affects everybody differently, so it's hard to determine what is happening. From the people that I know and have spoken to, secondary progressive multiple sclerosis, it's bad. You're gonna have like a relapse, and you're gonna fall into these symptoms and stuff. But the weird thing is, when the remission comes, you've lost some of these abilities, and it may stay longer. Who the hell knows? Like, in those abilities that you lost, they might not come back, but maybe they do come back. So we'll see. So I noticed there's a lot of diagnoses of secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. Then the heaviest on the spectrum would be PPMS, what I developed. That is primary progressive multiple sclerosis. That kind of just means you're getting bad, you're getting worse. There is no remission. You never get anything back that's taken from you. You can do your best to fight with it, but I've never gotten anything back as far as the abilities that I lost. It seems to just progressively get worse and worse and worse. So that's my take on the primary progressive multiple sclerosis group. It freaking sucks, man. And one weird thing that I noticed is, as I said before, there is no cure. So if you have RRMS, SPMS, or it kind of depends on when you developed it, what gender you are, like how your lifestyle is, how much stress you're around. Stress is a big deal, man. You gotta watch that stress shit. It's just something that I noticed that there's degrees that are much heavier than others, but they ultimately have the same outcome. Like, there are people that have RRMS and are able to keep it at bay for years and years and years, but older in life, as they get older, these problems start to resurface and complications will arise. From what I've noticed, and I don't like this at all, is, like I said, there's no cure that can fix what's wrong with you. So there's this, as far as medications and infusions and all the different drugs out there, it's attempted to slow it down, to try to delay what's happening to me. Now, there are people that are born really, like, I don't want to say born multiple sclerosis, but they develop it really early, like a teenager, and they have a certain degree, and they have to live a certain way, and have to keep it at bay, and that kind of stuff. And then there's the other people that have a totally, like, this is kind of like me, have a totally normal life. I coached martial arts, I used to play music, I used to write, I used to do woodworking, use tools, all kinds of stuff. But because I developed it so late in my life, I don't really know these things, but and I'm a male, we tend to get hit heavier. So I skipped the RRMS, the SPMS, and I went right into the PPMS. So that can happen too. It's taken literally all of my abilities. I'm holding on to a select few that I try. It's not like I can just hold on to them. You hold on to them as long as you can, and you have to be prepared to adjust if those things go away forever. I definitely don't like that slowing down shit, but there's nothing else that is available at the moment. That's where our funding and where everything is kind of like brought us. So as far as the cure, that's up to you. That's like on the individual. I'm sure something will be stumbled across and this horrible disease will be removed. Now, to speak a little on that, it's a autoimmune disease or issue. So it's multiple sclerosis. So it could be several things. It's multiple, from what I understand. Now, there are certain things that you could do in your lifestyle that will help, but you try to delay the really nasty stuff that's coming.